ASEAN Dailies. First and the foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Hello, welcome to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing. Do you have a favorite vacation spot? Well, for me, I love going to the islands. And in Southeast Asia, we are never short of beautiful islands, pristine white sand, blue sea, and clear skies. Well, in Southeast Asia as well, Thailand is the country that is the favorite among international tourists. And just this month, it marked slightly more than 3 million tourist arrivals to Thailand, an improvement of 15% in January. And most of the tourists are from China. Tourism and Sports Minister Kopkarn Watana Varangkul said that strong performance was driven by Asian markets led by China. To ensure a steady growth for tourism, the government in Thailand will work on policies to attract international visitors and to encourage Thai people to take more trips within the country. In fact, intra-ASEAN tourism is considered a prime market to balance the surge in Chinese visitors. Citizens of ASEAN nations enjoy at least a 15-day visa-free stay in Thailand. And with the ASEAN economic community, as well as the ease of traveling with a robust aviation industry such as AirAsia, we will have more Southeast Asians traveling within Southeast Asia. On ASEAN Daily, we will bring you daily updates and commentaries on issues and events that are impacting this region. I'm your host Arlene Tan, and on today, Thursday, 25th of February 2016, we will bring you the latest politics and current affairs news from this region. Our top story today. Fugitive former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra has spoken to Reuters in Singapore, where he warned the junta that the longer the Prayut Chan-o-cha military administrations stay in power, it will only see a worsened economic hardship in Thailand. The junta, which took power following a May 2014 coup, has struggled to revive its economy. This is due to failing exports and high household debt. And the critics are also saying that economic mismanagement is the biggest threat to its hold on power. The junta has lacked the vision and talent to fix the weak economy. This is confirmed by Thaksin, where he said that it is a government with no freedom and no pool of talent to drive the economy. A decade of turbulent politics have pitted Thaksin and his sister, former Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra, whose government was ousted in the 2014 coup, against a royalist military establishment that sees the Shinawatras as a threat. Thaksin has lived in self-imposed exile for nearly 8 years, mainly in Dubai. In his former life, he was a former police colonel turned telecoms tycoon. In 2010, he urged his red shirt followers to mobilize protests calling for elections that ended in a bloody confrontations with the military in which that 90 people died. His legacy of village welfare and cheap rural loans made him a hero in the red shirt country, in the rural north and northeast, where he still commands huge respect. But critics, including the urban elites, are accusing Thaksin of widespread corruption. He was sentenced to 2 years in prison in 2008 for graft in a land purchase case, which he said was politically motivated. Thailand has gone through 6 prime ministers since Thaksin was removed in 2006 coup and finding itself once again at a crucial political juncture. Thaksin's decision to speak to media this week has also reeled the junta. The junta's government representative, Major General Samson Kenkamnert, has told reporters that Thaksin remained a person without a credibility who thinks that he is above the law. The government has also rejected Thaksin's offer to hold formal talks in the country's political future. They said that they cannot talk to Thaksin because of the cases. But according to Thaksin, the coup is a bigger crime. So he's wondering why they are saying like that. Thaksin, who said he spends his time meeting up with old friends, including former heads of states, say that he adjusted to his nomadic life and makes, on average, 120 landings a year in his private jet. He believes that he will return to Thailand one day, but won't go back to face charges or live under house arrest because of previous assassination attempts. Let's move on to the next news. From Thai politics, we move on to Indonesia's LGBT community. Yogyakarta police had shut down a rally supporting the lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender community at the Tugu Monument in Yogyakarta on Tuesday. The Yogyakarta Police Chief Senior Commander Prihartono Eling Lalakon said that the rally was dispersed as protesters who identified themselves as the Solidarity of Democracy struggle had failed to secure the proper permits from the police. The rally was to challenge an opposing demonstration of hundreds of protesters from the youth generation of the Indonesian Islamic Front, which was scheduled for the same day at the city's 0 km on Jalan Penembahan Sinopati. The anti-LGBT rally was just 2 kilometers from the Tugu Monument, where the pro-LGBT group planned to protest. We all know that Indonesia is the world's most populous Muslim nation, and it is also because of that in grip of a debate on the lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender community. The issue came about into the spotlight late last month after Higher Education Minister Muhammad Nasir warned LGBT organizations to stay out of university campuses, accusing them of clashing with quote-unquote standard of values and morals of the Indonesia. And recently, Vice President Yusuf Kala also joined the fray, calling on United Nations Development Programme or UNDP to stop funding its LGBT campaign in Indonesia. This has led human rights activists to warn that recent statements by public officials and religious leaders on the issue are ill-informed and may trigger discrimination in the country, who is well known for its moderate form of Islam. The spike in comments against the community is not helped by officials who say that the orientation of LGBT is a disease that can be cured. And Mr. Hartoyo, director of an NGO that protects LGBT rights, said that government should be more careful in their comments so as not to further raise the tension. Let's go to the next news. Do you know that today is the People's Power Revolution anniversary in the Philippines? Well, the people power has come to symbolize a peaceful, spontaneous popular uprising that topples an unbending dictatorship. It challenged prevailing nostrum about democratic transition, which had stressed the importance of pacts between regime softliners and a moderate opposition. It also signified that it was possible for opposition moderates to overthrow a hardline authoritarian ruler without resorting to violent revolution. Revolutions, it turned out, could be democratic and peaceful. Well, unfortunately, despite declaring February 25th a national holiday to mark the 30th anniversary of People Power Revolution, overthrowing dictator Ferdinand E. Marcos in the Philippines, the President Benigno Noynoy S. Aquino III is unlikely to find his country in a celebratory mood. Why is that? Well, the People Power attracted international attentions as one of the world's first televised revolutions, with the plucky Corazon Corisi Aquino defeating the wily dictator Marcos, leading to a heroic transition to democracy. For many Filipino who remain poor and disillusioned with the post-Marcos order, this appeared to be little more than political folklore, as shown by the dwindling crowds at recent annual official celebrations of the uprising. It seems like the people in the Philippines themselves seems to have abandoned the idea of people power. Yet, the Philippine People Power Revolt has influenced a number of popular revolts around the world. For example, South Korea activists in 1987 to 1988, Burma protesters in 1988, Chinese students in 1989, and Indonesian students in 1997 to 1998 all drew inspiration from the Philippine example. Well, another reason why it is still an issue among Filipinos, not as a cause of celebration, is because the Philippines is still seeking to recover about $1 billion worth of assets accumulated by the late dictator Ferdinand Marcos through 100 court cases at home and overseas. According to one government official, the task is not easy. He's Richard Amurao, head of an agency created in 1986 to recover funds from Marcos. The people holding these assets have been slowing us down. They have been using all sorts of delaying tactics to thwart the government's efforts. This is according to Richard. And according to Reuters, they have contacted the wife of Ferdinand Marcos. Her name is Imelda, and son Ferdinand Jr. to seek a response to the comments, but it was unsuccessful. Imelda continued to say that the family did not steal from the people and its wealth was acquired legally. Even after 30 years of the People's Power Revolution, members of Marcos' family remain active in politics. In fact, his wife Imelda is a congresswoman from Ilocos Norte, the political base of the family where her eldest daughter is governor. Her only son, Ferdinand Jr., is a senator and running for vice president in the May election. In independent polls, he is tied with another senator who is the son of a former Marcos-era minister. That's all from our ASEAN Daily today. Thanks for tuning in to Duran ASEAN with me, Arlene Tan. For more updates on Southeast Asia, please go to our website at duranasian.com. If you're on the go, you can always download our TuneIn app on your mobile. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels at Duran ASEAN and Duran ASEAN TV. Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, Twitter and Instagram. We always welcome feedback from our listeners. Stay tuned with ASEAN Daily by tomorrow, Friday. Same time, 12 to 1 p.m. on GMT Plus 8. Duran ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.
You're now listening to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing.